Hey, Cowboys Nation! The 2025 offseason just got a whole lot more dramatic. According to recent reports, Demarcus Lawrence, the heart and soul of the Dallas Cowboys defense for over a decade, could be on his way to signing with none other than the Washington Commanders, our bitter NFC East rivals. Yes, you read that right. The same Commanders now led by former Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Could this really happen? And what would it mean for the Cowboys? Let's break it all down. Demarcus Lawrence, a Cowboys legend on the move. Demarcus Lawrence, affectionately known as Tank, has been a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defense since he was drafted in the second round back in 2014. With 11 seasons under his belt, Lawrence has been a model of consistency, leadership, and toughness. But now, as he enters free agency, the unthinkable is being discussed. Lawrence could leave Dallas and join the Commanders. Here's the kicker. Lawrence has made it clear that he wants to stay in Dallas. "I'll have other options," he said, "but I'd like to stay here. It would be glorious." However, with the Cowboys reportedly hesitant to meet his asking price, the door is open for Quinn and the Commanders to swoop in. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Should Dallas do whatever it takes to keep Tank, or is it time to move on? Let us know in the comments. Dan Quinn's revenge, poaching Cowboys talent. Dan Quinn, the former Cowboys defensive coordinator who helped turn the defense into one of the league's best, is now the head coach of the Washington Commanders, and he's not wasting any time building his new team. Quinn has already brought in several former Cowboys players and staff members, and now he's eyeing Lawrence to anchor his defense. The Commanders are suddenly looking like a legitimate threat in the NFC East, and adding Lawrence would only make them stronger. For Cowboys fans, the thought of Tank wearing anything but the star is heartbreaking, but here's the question. Could this move actually happen? And if it does, how would it impact the Cowboys' defense? Let's dive deeper. The financials. Can the Cowboys afford to keep Tank? Demarcus Lawrence is coming off a contract that paid him $20 million per year, and while he's still a productive player, the Cowboys have to weigh the cost of re-signing him against other pressing needs. With Micah Parsons due for a massive extension and other key players needing new deals, Dallas might not be willing to meet Lawrence's asking price. But here's the thing. Lawrence isn't just any player. He's a leader in the locker room and a fan favorite. His ability to stop the run and pressure the quarterback is invaluable. So, Cowboys Nation, do you think Jerry Jones should open the checkbook to keep Tank, or is it time to let him walk? Let's hear your thoughts. The Commanders. Pitch, a chance to win now? The Washington Commanders are building something special under Dan Quinn. With a revamped roster and a clear vision, they're positioning themselves as contenders in the NFC East. For Lawrence, the chance to join a team on the rise and stick. It to his former team twice a year might be too good to pass up. But let's not forget, Lawrence has deep roots in Dallas. He and his family have called DFW home for over a decade, and he's expressed a desire to finish his career with the Cowboys. So what's more important, loyalty or the chance to win a Super Bowl? Let's debate. Impact on the Cowboys' defense. If Lawrence leaves, the Cowboys' defense would lose one of its most reliable players. Tank's ability to set the edge against the run and generate pressure on the quarterback has been crucial to the team's success. Without him, the Cowboys would need to find a way to replace his production, whether through free agency, the draft, or internal development. But here's the silver lining. The Cowboys still have Micah Parsons, who is arguably the best defensive player in the league. If they can add another pass rusher to complement Parsons, the defense might not miss a beat. So, Cowboys Nation, who would you like to see replace Lawrence if he leaves? Let's hear your suggestions. What's next for Demarcus Lawrence? As of March 12, 2025, Lawrence's future is still up in the air. The Cowboys have made it clear that they want him back, but they're not willing to break the bank to make it happen. Meanwhile, the Commanders are lurking, ready to pounce if the price is right. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think will happen? Will Lawrence stay in Dallas, or will he take his talents to Washington? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Final thoughts. A defining moment for the Cowboys. The 2025 offseason could be a defining moment for the Dallas Cowboys. Losing a player like Demarcus Lawrence to a division rival would be a tough pill to swallow, but it might also be the reality of the business side of football. As we wait for more updates, one thing is certain. Cowboys Nation will be watching closely, hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop on all the latest Cowboys news. The road to the 2025 season is just beginning, and we'll be here every step of the way. Until next time, Cowboys Nation. Detailed analysis. What does Demarcus Lawrence bring to the table? Demarcus Lawrence isn't just a pass rusher, he's a complete defensive end who can stop the run and pressure the quarterback. In 2024, despite being limited to just 4 games due to a foot injury, Lawrence still managed to make an impact whenever he was on the field. His ability to disrupt plays and lead by example is something the Cowboys would miss dearly if he leaves. But here's the question. At 33 years old, how much does Lawrence have left in the tank? While he's still a productive player, the Cowboys have to consider whether it's worth investing in an aging veteran or focusing on younger talent. What's your take, Cowboys Nation? Should Dallas keep Tank at all costs, or is it time to turn the page? Dan Quinn's vision for the Commanders. Dan Quinn has wasted no time putting his stamp on the Washington Commanders. Since taking over as head coach, he's brought in several former Cowboys players and staff members, creating a sense of familiarity and continuity. Adding Lawrence to the mix would be the ultimate coup, giving Quinn a proven leader to anchor his defense. But here's the catch. Lawrence has spent his entire career in Dallas, and the thought of him playing for a rival might be too much for some fans to handle. So, Cowboys Nation, how would you feel seeing Tank in a Commander's uniform? Let's hear it. The Cowboys' Plan B. Life without Tank. If Lawrence leaves, the Cowboys will need to find a way to replace his production. One option could be to sign a younger free agent like Brian Burns or Josh Allen, both of whom are in their prime and could form a dynamic duo with Micah Parsons. Another option would be to address the position in the draft, targeting a player like Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. But here's the thing. Replacing Lawrence isn't just about finding someone who can rush the passer. It's about finding a leader who can set the tone for the entire defense. So, Cowboys Nation, who would you like to see step up if Tank leaves? Let's keep the conversation going. Conclusion. What to expect in the coming days. As March 12, 2025 approaches, the Cowboys offseason is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory. With Demarcus Lawrence's future hanging in the balance, the team has a chance to make a statement and set the tone for the upcoming season. But as always, the question remains, will Jerry Jones pull the trigger and make the moves that could change everything? So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Should the Cowboys do whatever it takes to keep Tank, or is it time to move on? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.